Welcome to Garage Jiu-Jitsu. These sessions are not meant to replace the teachings of black belts, but rather to share some of those aha moments we've encountered. Moments that often come when we're messing around on the mats in our garage with our buddies and comparing notes. We believe that 98% of results of any technique are delivered by those last 2% of details. After a combined 10 years of hard training, we're still discovering little details on how to better perform chokes and arm bars from guard. The learning never ends. We're on a journey just like you and want to share what we've got with more good stuff to come.
This is one of my favorite drills. I came up with this, I think I came up with this with a fellow named Dave D'Souza. Dave's a brown belt now with Eddie Bravo out in California, but Dave and I started training together years ago. He was originally a Gracie guy. So we were playing around on the mat one day and we came up with this concept of, it's called Jiu-Jitsu chess. And I love the game because what it does is it slows down Jiu-Jitsu to what you determine as the speed. And the goal here is each person gets to do a move. So it's just like regular chess. Your move, my move. Your move, my move. But what it introduces is a time to think. Because in the beginning, when you first learn Jiu-Jitsu, all it is like two tumbleweeds mating with each other. It's hilarious. Right? You're just grabbing and you're pulling and you're pushing, you don't know what to do, and you don't get time to think. So Jiu-Jitsu chess gives you time to think in between your moves.
Right, and I think that's the most critical point, because you know, even a beginner who's been training 2 months, 4 months, and our personal philosophy is if you train in less than 6 months, you really shouldn't be doing full rolls anyway, because it's a great way to ruin the technique that you've already learned. You learn a few techniques, and all of a sudden you get in a roll and you find, oh, I tried this, it didn't work, whatever, and then you just get kind of chaotic and crazy, and your thought process is not under control at all. And that's the major point in Jiu-Jitsu, is you got to have your thought process under control. So this one-on-one, or BJJ chess as we call it, is a great way to say, all right, here's my move, here's what I'm thinking about, what are you thinking about? You get to process things more quickly. You can take 15 seconds between techniques, get it down to 10 seconds, 5 seconds, and then finally when you get to somebody who you worked with a lot, you can almost do like a flow roll, but you're very, very cognizant of what you're doing, where you're going, and why, as opposed to just trying to grab a guy. And then if you get two guys who are bigger and stronger, one guy pulls a little harder, the other guy pulls harder back, and next thing you know, you're back into 100% roll. So this is all about control.
Yeah, and again, guys, one of the biggest lessons I ever had was Jiu-Jitsu's about learning. It's not about winning and losing. Tournaments are about winning and losing. On the mat with your buddies in the academy, it's not about that. So this is how we usually start Jiu-Jitsu chess. One guy will start from a knee position, okay, and the other guy will start here. So I'm going to tell Tom, Tom, your first move. So Tom's position's there. And in Jiu-Jitsu chess, respectfully, less is more, right? So don't try and pull a long position out. Just look, Tom made his first move. Tom made this move here. He's got my collar. I don't like that. He's got my sleeve. I don't like that. I'm going to go to my go-to move, which I'm going to pull half right away. Boom. I went to half because I want to block him from coming in, and he's got this here. I don't like this. Now it's Tom's move. Okay? I'm checking it out here. I don't like what I'm seeing here because he's pushing me away. He's opening up. Now I'm going to go for sweep. I'm going to grab this collar, and I'm going to come here. I'm thinking sweep.
Okay, so I'm going to counter immediately by trying to block this hip. I want to crush this hip, create a little distance right here so I can drive this shoulder, start to move around. Go ahead.
Okay, so Tom's here. He's starting to pass me here. I don't like that at all. What I'm going to do is I'm going to extract my left knee to get behind him. I'm going to push his head down at the same time, because where the head goes, the body follows. So I let go of this grip, I bring this out, and I come here.
Okay, yep. So my move, I got a couple of options here. I got his knee pinned down. I have an opportunity to bring my shoulder in and step through for a pass, right? Or I can continue to try to block here to be able to set up another pass, because again, I've got this hip blocked over here. Some people get nervous as soon as you start to get an arm under or do an underhook pass because they think, oh, you're going to get triangled. Not necessarily. If you're blocking the guy's hip and you got a hold of the gi, you're not going to get triangled. But for the sake of this roll, I'll just go ahead, come inside here like I'm going to set up this next move, which is another move away. Okay, I've got blocking this knee, blocking this hip, and I've also got good distance here. I'm not on top of him. I've got my own posture. Okay, so I can scooch back too, which takes away all his power. Yep, your move.
So now Tommy's got me here. He's trying to staple down my hips. What I'm going to try to do up here is I'm going to try and dump that elbow on the ground here so I get his weight moving forward, and I'm going to try and scoot around the back. So how do I do that? I use my hips, I bounce them forward, and I come up here. This is where I want to be. I have this arm here for a brace, and I'm pressing against this shoulder.
Okay, so from right here, again, he's starting to get my back. I can feel that. I've got his hip with this other elbow. This other elbow is still across his hip, okay? But he's got more power. His hip rotation is going to beat my elbow power, okay? So even if I'm super strong, I can try to get him down. It's going to be tough. He's based out, right? So I've got this leg here. I'm starting to think about coming underneath, right? Coming underneath here, stabilizing this knee, head down. I can't tell you how many chokes I got caught in by doing passes and stapling guys' hips down. Everything was beautiful. Life was great until some black belt reached in and snagged me with a lapel choke. So keep that shoulder and that ear down. Okay, I've got this leg here. No danger of a triangle. Okay, I'm all ready for his next move.
Okay, so right here, Tom's strong. He's on top of me. I'm very concerned here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reach inside here and try and get the kimono, and I'm going to ride this leg up top here. And I'm going to try and pull here, and I'm locking down this elbow here.
Okay, so at this point, he's putting pressure on me. He's not going to finish the fight this way. He's making it uncomfortable for me, particularly if he pulls real hard and gets that right. He got it right across my Adam's apple. Again, he's not going to tap me, but it's going to make it uncomfortable. More important than being uncomfortable, and that's part of jiu-jitsu, right? Learning to be comfortable being uncomfortable. So it's like, okay, well this kind of stinks. This ain't fun, but I'm not reacting. I'm not panicking. I know he's not going to finish me. Yeah, it's uncomfortable for a while. So what? Life's uncomfortable sometimes, right? I have to understand, though, the most important thing is that he now has control of my head and part of my neck indirectly by this grip. Okay, so this is a problem. So I need to go ahead and negate that. If I can, I will step back, try to reduce it, okay, because he has less control now. And I'm going to try to see if I can turn his hips. Okay, and when I turn his hips, I'm not trying to stack him right away because he's got power now, right? He's got a lot of hip power. He can push me back away. He's actually in a better position to finish the fight now because my neck is exposed. So when I'm here, I'm going to step back. I'm going to try to rotate over this way so that I can start to work on a pass this way where he has less power. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking anyway, right? So he's got my neck. I'm under here. I'm going to try to step back and come over here this way.
I was hoping Tom was going to do that because my setup here was to bait him. So if we go back to the position, let's back up one. Yep. I was here with Tom. I was actually hoping he was going to do that, and I was going to try and jump speed. And this is where it's tough in jiu-jitsu chess. As he was transitioning, I was going to try and jump to a triangle. So he was coming, as he transitioned across, I was going to try and jump to this. But Tom shut it down because he has very good pressure here, and he's got pressure here on
I've got big pressure here.
Yeah, and I can't bring this leg up.
No, and this my elbow is really stapled knee. That's one of the triangle defenses. If he started to shoot a triangle on me, my first reaction is to elbow. I mean, like I got my worst enemy behind me. Bam! Okay, it's with that amount of explosion to try to block that down or create space that I can posture up.
Right. So Tom went there. And now, again, you see, jiu-jitsu chess can go on infinitely. And that's the idea. It's not for me to catch Tom or Tom to catch me, but it's the idea of exploring positions as you go through.
And talk with your partner. Like Joe and I talk to each other when we're going through this so that I can learn what he's thinking and vice versa.
All right, and then my final last move here is I'm going to shoot right here for an inverted armbar right here. I'm going to shoot underneath Tom's hand, and I'm going to try and bring this over to lock this up. And Tom generously gave it to me.
That's it.
So that's jiu-jitsu chess.
Right.
Have fun with it. Take your time. Discuss what's going on, and then you can increase how short you make the in-between moves.